Welcome to the Old Man of the Three with JJ Redick and Tommy Alter, presented by Cash App and brought to you by 342 Productions. This is episode 84. Kyle Korver. Tommy, what a fantastic conversation. There was some profound gems of wisdom and perspective from Kyle today.
I would say so. First of all, we go through Kyle's entire career.
Yes.
Amazing run. We talk about the similarities that you two have, even more so than you even realized before the conversation started. And then he tells a couple of insane stories, which he doesn't realize. I'm not sure he still realizes how insane they are, but the three of us talked about afterwards. One of the craziest stories we've had on the podcast so far, I would say.
I'll preview it with one simple word. Misogi. That's all I'll say. Misogi. By the way, we didn't get into this on the podcast, and I know the three of us discussed it afterwards. This is a little known fact, but Kyle and I have two sons. We each have a son. Well, I have two sons. He has two as well, and a daughter. But we have two of our kids are both 7 years old, both born in 2014. My son was born in August of 2014. His son was born in September of 2014, and both of those children's names are Knox. And I ran into Kyle about a month before my Knox was born. This is July of 2014 in Vegas. We were a large number of NBA players, well into the hundreds, turned out to listen to a presentation from three different prospective executive directors. Then we voted. It ended up being Michelle Roberts. She was the clear-cut best choice. And after the vote, we all sort of went back to our hotel rooms. Kyle and I ended up in the same elevator, and we started talking, catching up or whatever. And I said, my wife's pregnant. Hey, no shit. My wife's pregnant. Oh, cool. What are you having? I'm having a boy. Oh, cool. What are you having? I'm having a boy. I asked him. I said, what are you naming him? And he's like, we're keeping it a secret. Cool. He asked me, what are you naming your kid? And I said, Knox. And as soon as I said it, his face just went fucking pale white. And I knew right away. He was thinking the same thing. And he went back to his wife. There was some discussion about whether or not they should end up naming their child Knox. He texted me and he said, hey, are you cool if I name my kid Knox too? I said, no doubt. That's pretty cool. All I'm picturing is either the class of 2032, class of 2033, the two best shooters in that class, very well, could be Kyle Korver's son and JJ Redick's son, and both could be named Knox. What are the fucking odds?
It's weird. It's just weird. It's a crazy. By the way, this is not the crazy story. The crazy story is coming later.
That is not the crazy story.
But it's just it's very interesting. I think everybody knows the similarities in terms of your sort of on the court skill set, but the similarities between you two guys in a lot of different ways is a little bit eerie.
There's a lot we talk about. Again, as we discussed, we go through his whole career. We talk about the fax machine or the copy machine, whatever it was that he was traded for. We talk about Braun. We talk about AI. We talk about his all-star appearance. We talk about his time with Tibbs. We talk about the end. We talk about retirement, post-retirement. There's a ton of stuff that we get into. Speaking of retirement, Tommy, yesterday was my very first day on ESPN in studio. I did NBA Today. I got to say I had a lot of fun. It was an enjoyable time.
You look good.
Credit the groomer.
Did your own grooming. Showed up just looking snazzy.
Credit the groom. No, we actually, because of COVID, there's no on-set, in-studio groomers that ESPN is providing. Their talent. I would describe myself as a talent now. I think
you were talent before this, just for the record.
No, but whatever. That's what they call us. Anyways, so I had to have a groomer come over to the apartment before I headed over to Seaport, and phenomenal job by him. Yes. Felt like I looked good. I felt good.
Must see TV.
I will be back on ESPN on Tuesday of next week. Speaking of ESPN, we've got some great games tonight. We've got the Knicks at Milwaukee, and the other ESPN game is New Orleans at Golden State. Tommy, I know we talk about betting all the time, but a great way to bet, if you wanted to bet on these games, is through FanDuel. FanDuel has this amazing offer, First Basket Fridays. Here's how it works. If you place a $25 or more bet on who is going to score the first basket on any NBA game taking place today, November 5th, Friday, November 5th, you get $1 credit for each three-pointer that both teams score in the game. That's $1 of site credit to bet at a later date in credit on the site. It's a new promotion this season. You have to opt into this promotion on FanDuel Sportsbook before you place your first basket wager, or you won't be eligible. You also, we should say this, we didn't say it last week, you got to use promo code JJ. So First Basket Friday, we got New York, Milwaukee, New Orleans at Golden State. Tommy, if you were picking one player to score the first basket, New York at Milwaukee, what are you putting your money on?
I'm picking RJ Barrett from the Knicks.
Wow.
Our guy RJ
Wow.
will be on this show. Will be on this show soon. He's been balling right now. The Knicks dropped a couple. I think they've come back down to earth a little bit. Knicks fans were ready to tear the city up when they started 5-1. But RJ's been playing great. I think that I really think when you look at that draft, and everyone talks about Zion, everyone talks about Ja, and I'm not comparing RJ to the two of them, but defensively he's been a great sort of defensive stopper since he's come into the league. And am I wrong? It feels like his sort of overall game is picking up to a level where you understand why this guy was a number 3 overall pick.
There's a physicality to his game. I still would like to see him, at least long term, over the course of a full season, be more efficiently scoring the basketball. But he does a number of things well. As you mentioned, he defends, he rebounds, he is a playmaker, and he scores the ball at all three levels. I certainly understand why he was considered a potential number 1 pick, and obviously ended up being a top 3 pick. And so much attention has been given to Zion and Ja that he probably doesn't get as much credit as he should get for the career he's had thus far. I'm definitely not picking him for the first basket tomorrow. The Bucks win the tip, and Giannis scores the first hoop. I will say that. Knicks take a ton of threes. Milwaukee, as we know, spreads the floor. Giannis has had a game already where he's taken a ton of threes. There's going to be a lot of threes in this game. That's my prediction. This would be a great game to bet on. Again, if you bet on this particular game, regardless of who you pick to score the first basket, you will get $1 in site credit for every three-pointer made in this game. Again, use promo code JJ. You have to opt into this promotion on FanDuel Sportsbook before you place your first basket wager. There's a bunch of disclaimers on this, obviously based on states' betting rules. I will say this: you got to be 21 or over. Age and location restrictions apply. You can see the full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. There's a graphic disclaimer right below us. But this is a great opportunity, I think, to have a lot of fun. I love prop bets. Everybody loves prop bets at the Super Bowl. FanDuel is providing a bunch of amazing prop bets throughout the NBA season. This is one of them. Again, on Fridays, starting with November 5th, First Basket Fridays, you can bet on who scores the first basket. Whatever game you bet on, you get $1 in site credit for all the threes made during that game that you bet on.
I want to talk about the second game tonight, New Orleans versus Golden State. New Orleans has obviously, had a rough go of it so far without Zion. The Warriors have got to be the surprise of the season so far.
Are they?
You don't think so with no Clay? I mean, this is a team that was up and down, to put it mildly, last year, and obviously you have one of the great scorers of all time on your team, so you can win every night. But defensively, especially, it feels like they've taken a leap that was not there last year.
Sure, Tommy. Sure.
You don't see it?
This is a team that has won multiple NBA championships.
Hold on, so you're
There's a pedigree there.
So
they have 2 Hall of Famers on their team. They have one of the best players of all time. Am I surprised that they started a season 6-1? No.
based off of last year.
They finished the season very strong.
They didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, but Tommy, to get into that play-in game and to be in that 7-8 slot, they finished the season great.
I'm not saying it's the craziest thing ever. I think there's also defensively, with the exception of Draymond, who's one of the great defensive players ever, probably, them being at the top of the league in team defense feels like it's a surprise. I think we should shout out Jordan Poole, another guy that we're going to have on the show pretty soon, who's been great.
Monster game last night. Gary Payton, the second monster game last night, including a poster dunk, but great defense. This team is really, really interesting to me. They're a lot of people's dark horse pick to win the Western Conference because of the addition at some point of, we hope, a very healthy Klay Thompson. James Wiseman, he's close to returning to full strength. I would say personally, I like the Warriors' chances. I'm never going to bet against a healthy Warriors team with Steph and Klay. And like I've said previously, no one's talking about the Utah Jazz. We've discredited them because of their regular season success and their lack of postseason success. But I like the Utah Jazz in the West. This could be a breakthrough year for them, Tommy. Speaking of the Jazz, Tommy, our guy Kyle played there. I believe he played there twice, actually, because I used to give him buckets back in 09, 010, and again in 18, 19. Let's get to our conversation with one of the greatest shooters of all time, Kyle Korver.